welcome back to Crypto.com Arena. This series has certainly been electric on the floor, and it's bled a little bit into the post-game comments because Dillon Brooks, he said that LeBron James is old and that he won't respect him until he gives him 40. So this is how fans in Crypto.com Arena greeted him today in warm-ups.
Well, they let him know how they feel immediately, and Dillon Brooks, to his credit, has fully embraced the role of whatever you want to characterize it as, maybe heel. But I'll tell you this about Brooks. He means everything to Memphis in terms of their defense and their intensity, and told me a little bit earlier, coming up in the game, he modeled his defense for us after Ron Artest back in the day. Liked his rugged and feisty style of guarding high scores on the other end.
There are times I think he crosses a line. I respect highly what this guy does nightly. And in listening to Desmond Bane talk about his teammate and the rest of the guys, they respect that this guy is digging it out of the dirt. He does not bring elite athleticism to the game. He obviously does not bring elite shooting. He's on the floor to do one thing: guard the toughest guy every single night. It's a thankless job. It's a hard job, and he embraces it.
Ron, meanwhile, when asked about it, says, "You can miss me with all that stuff." In different language, of course. Brooks misfiring on another three, rebounded by Davis.
This is for a young team, Memphis. I would call them unbothered, but right now they can't put the ball in the ocean.
Little chase action by Russell, a little floater inside, comes off the rim, rebounded by Jackson Jr. Memphis off to a 1-for-9 start. Desmond Bane misses the mark as well.
I think that's the right idea, Mark. Don't settle for jump shots. He mishandled it, so it made it a tougher move.
Anthony Davis, that's a tough shot to stop, but he left it short. Anthony Davis out of the game. 0 for 1, that was his first field goal attempt. Ja stopped up in the paint, one more to Brooks, and he walked with it. Here's tomorrow's playoff schedule. All game 4s on ABC. It's the Cavs and Knicks at 1 p.m. Eastern time, followed by Kings and Warriors at 3:30. Then on TNT, Celtics Hawks, followed by Nuggets and Timberwolves at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Russell will bring it into the front court. Guarded by Bane. Little staggered screens. Russell got to the lane and laid it in. Interesting matchup here. Vando and Ja's handle a little bit loose there. That's twice now, Doris, that he's lost the handle.
What do? You put a guy who can put a ton of ball pressure on with great length and athleticism, and you meet him as soon as he comes across the half-court line. He's got nowhere to go, and you can see Ja, kind of amping up to get past him.
Vando, not a shooter, left it short. Reeves with the offensive board. Little short jumper is good. Austin Reeves, who was spectacular in that Game 1 win. Averaging good numbers here in the playoffs. Brooks missing again.
It's impatience. If you're Dillon Brooks, there's 16 on the shot clock. You can struggle from deep. I know you can get hot. I know how hard you work defensively. It's been an absolute abysmal start. Don't take that shot with 16 ticks.
Russell off the double drag, drew the foul. They'll wave it off. Mark Davis says it was prior to the gather, but let's see. He's conferring with Brian Forte, and they're going to count it.
That's an easy call. That's pick and roll action. Second consecutive possession. You get D'Angelo Russell, who has been struggling mightily, going to his strong hands, and the bench reacting. D'Angelo Russell, when he plays well, takes this group to another level.
Yes.
And it has been a big-time struggle shooting the basketball for this guy through the first couple games.
Los Angeles Lakers in the midst of an 11-0 run right now. And a much better start than the one in Game 2 in Memphis. And they hit the snooze button a little bit early.
Bernard on the floor, he brings some shooting.
Santi Aldama subs into the game as well. Josh still on the floor, guarded by Schroeder, who just checked in. Got to his strong hand and draws the foul on an incredulous Anthony Davis. John looks at him and says, "You got me, big fella."
It's just impossible to keep in front. You know, Dennis Schroeder presses up, anticipating some help. Anthony Davis comes over. How about the adjustment? Hits him on the elbow. That's where Ja loses control of the basketball. Just hoping he's not getting hit directly on the hand on those forays.
As you look, Doris, at the rotation on the ball, he's able to turn his wrist over because there's good spin on that thing. And his dad, T. Morant, was telling me prior to tip-off that he always tells his son, as his first coach, reach for the back of the basket, and he was able to turn his wrist over. So all indications are, as far as shooting goes, he's all right. Here's LeBron on the slot cut. Got it.
You see what I mean about crispness? You don't allow the physicality of this team to come into play. They're just running that staggered screen for D'Angelo, and obviously he makes a nice play on the LeBron cut.
James with 8 quick points already. John kicks it out to Aldama. And finally a 3-ball falls.
You just got to stay with it. Keep defending if you're Memphis, but I think you've got to start to impact the basketball a little bit more.
There's that double drag. Davis raising up. Darvin Ham going right back to that particular set you mentioned, Doris, a moment ago. Pressing all the right buttons so far. Aldama at the other end. A whistle and a foul going to go against James.
You're getting a steady diet of this. Stagger screen for D'Angelo Russell. Tillman sort of caught in no man's land. Doesn't want to lose contact with Anthony Davis, but he's thinking about trying to help on D'Angelo. You lose touch with Anthony Davis, he's going to put it on your head. Look out, good night.
When he's right, folks, he is one of the top 5 players in the NBA. And remember, there was that stretch in February where Anthony Davis went on a tear. Right now, Lakers up by 15. Brooks goes to the bench, 0 for 4 from the field. Tyus Jones coming into the ball game for for John Morant. Aldama with a nice ball fake, waltzing through the paint, and that's going to be an offensive foul with the ward-off, using that off arm. Interesting coaching matchup. Taylor Jenkins and Darvin Ham. We'll get back to that in a moment.
Mark Jones, if I'm at the park and I get called for that, I am really annoyed.
Tell you to sit down.
I'm going to say, we're running that back and it's my ball.
Yeah. Russell, Davis with the offensive rebound. Oh, he sent it with his chest. Timeout, Memphis.
Lakers, sellout, Hollywood, AD doing AD things. Memphis got to find itself fast.